The IELTS exam sucks, but you need to do it. Hi, my name is Kieran. I'm an IELTS speaking coach. And since 2018, I have worked one-on-one with over 100 different students to help them increase their IELTS speaking score. In this channel, I'm going to supply you with the precise tools and the proven strategies that my students and I have used over the last 5 years to help them succeed. And if you feel like you need some one-on-one help, you can schedule a session with me personally. So for the rest of this video, let's get into a basic 4-step plan to help you improve your IELTS speaking score as fast as possible. Okay, so step 1 is understanding how to answer each part of the exam. I've created special criteria to help guide you in answering part 1, part 2, and part 3 questions. I'll cover part 1 in the next video. But what I really want you to understand is that some people are failing to get the band score they want, not necessarily because their language skills are not developed enough, but more because they are not answering the question in the proper way that the IELTS exam wants them to. So step 1 is really just understanding how to answer the part 1, part 2, or part 3 question in a way that will score highly. Okay, so part 2 is preparing your vocabulary and your structures for the exam. There's roughly about 30 part 1 topics, 50 part 2 topics, and then part 3 topics are, you're a little more in the dark, you don't always know what they are, but there's a lot of vocabulary and structures you should prepare beforehand. And you know most of the questions, so why not do it? I've created a super useful tool for my students. I call it the IELTS topic spreadsheet. I'll give it to you absolutely for free. You can just join my Wechat group to get it completely free. And it's going to help you plan your vocabulary and gauge how well prepared you are for each part 1 topic. There's absolutely no reason not to prepare your vocabulary and your structures ahead of time. You're going to make less grammatical errors, you're going to use less awkward English, and you're just going to have a higher chance of getting the score you need. Okay, step 3 is practicing the IELTS speaking exam through a mock exam with someone else who's preparing for the IELTS exam, a tutor like myself, or just by yourself. And yes, you can practice speaking by yourself, okay? So it's as simple as recording yourself answering the topics out loud, then listening and seeing how you did. One of my previous students, Isabel, who was a 7 and got as high as an 8.5, used to practice the IELTS speaking exam with her dad during video calls. The funny thing is, her dad doesn't speak any English at all. He would just sit there and listen to her. So you totally can practice on your own, and the more you practice, the more determined you are, the higher chance you're going to have of reaching the score you need. Okay, and step 4 is what I call polishing. That is constantly correcting grammar, improving vocabulary, improving the structures you use by looking at your audio files on paper in a transcript and seeing what you said, and spotting the things that you can fix and make better, or by getting feedback from someone like myself, or even just a friend who's practicing for the IELTS exam too. So we do step 1 and 2 one time. Maybe you'll have to do step 2 a second time if they change all the part 1 and 2 topics a few times a year. And then step 3 and 4 are an ongoing Step 3 and 4 are an ongoing progress that you do over and over and over again until you get the score that you need. You can take a break one day a week or something, but you really need to practice consistently if you want to see your score go up. So that's it. That's the entire 4-step process. Step 1, learn how to answer each part of the exam. Step 2, prepare your vocabulary and your structures. Put them on paper. Step 3, do the actual IELTS speaking exam. Do a mock exam with a friend, with a tutor, or practice by yourself and record yourself. And then step 4, correct. Polish your English. Look at what you said. Listen to yourself. Find your grammatical errors. Try to eliminate some of the massive patterns of errors that you have. See where you can have better vocabulary, and then just keep practicing and refining it over and over and over again until you get the score you need. Okay, so in the next video, I'm going to cover part 1. I'm going to go over the criteria, 3 different ways you can answer part 1 questions, and I'll give you some great model answers for part 1 to help you get started.